using spiritual principles, humble yourself and honor people. Because it's always a game of how much are you ready to know that the next person carries value. Right? Are we together? So I'm going to tell a little story. So there's this friend of mine that went to Command, this secondary school here in Ibadan. Who is familiar with Command? Okay, so that Ojo right there. And in school, his strengths were majorly connecting people together. That's secondary school. So he enjoyed organizing parties, social day, and stuff like that. But we understand the generation we are in. Once you start to do stuff like that, what are you called? You are labeled a bad boy, doing parties and whatnot. But let us pay attention to the major strengths. He loves to connect people and organize things, right? Moves on to university. He moved on to study mechanical engineering. What would you expect of an engineer? Create, build, destroy, or move into tech bro, and whatnot. But still chose to continue organizing stuff. So, yeah, mech engineering, oh, they're having this event, they're having that. That is where you would always find him. Moves out of school and starts to do events full time. I'm not talking about a friend, I'm talking about myself. And the point I really want to point out to us here is understand what you want to do very early. So you guys said I have a background in mechanical engineering, and we trace Nigeria now. And like my parents still keep asking because they don't understand, like, what are you doing in entertainment business? You have a background in engineering. But right from GSS 3, I strongly understood that what I want to do is to bring people together. So when you understand what you really want, and for me it is people, that is my core strength, then you need to start to learn the principles, like I rightly said. And in learning the principles, you need to start to ask yourself. They asked us to meet each other. How many people went past what is your name? How many people went as far as what do you do? Okay. So who did you meet? What does he do? He designs. That is really where I think it starts from. I was at an event about 4 months ago, Alliance Française. It was a talent showcase, and I met this man. I had no idea who he was. We start to talk, and I end up holding a 3-hour conversation with someone without even knowing his name. Ends up is the regional supervisor somewhere, Union Bank. But the point I'm really trying to make is you need to learn how to communicate with people, and in communicating with people, learn to ask the right questions. Learn to listen. The Bible tells us to listen twice as much as we speak. So learn in achieving in today's Nigeria, what value do you have to add to people? In terms of you meet people now, oh, I do designs. You never would be able to tell where you will need his help. So it doesn't go just, oh, he does design. Do you have his number? Not yet, but that is where I feel we need to get to. I'm going to use a very practical example because I know a couple of people here. There was this time I needed to get jewelries. Jumoke, who did I reach out to? Because I had seen her post once or twice. So all these people are disturbing me on WhatsApp. I don't want to check. You never can tell where you would meet anyone. So as a matter of principle and rule for achieving in today's Nigeria, I think it's very important we learn to treat everybody equally. One of my friends finished school last week and she had to send stuff. She was in vet medicine, so you can imagine she read a lot of books. So she was packing all her stuff with ABC Transport to Abuja. So that was where I was this morning. And we get to ABC and I meet the UI cab driver there. He doesn't recognize me. I remove my glasses and I'm in a way. Oh, Egbomo recognizing. In recognizing him, the last place we went to was going to collect 30K. We ended up doing it for 17K. your ability to make friends in seemingly, and it goes back to when you are trying to honor people. They said something, love wins always. I can tell you that it will be frustrating sometimes. So I had to go on a journey to Mina. And if you are very familiar with that route, we went through Kogi. So when we got to Kogi, we meet this set of guys that tell you that you can't pass through their state if you don't have some particular stickers on your car. Is anybody familiar with people like that? So obviously these guys, you already know what they want to do. They want to delay you and they want to collect money. We were in a strange place. We were in the bush. We found the nearest police station, reported. We were like, oh, Ola Iton Tutunwa Wala. We didn't go there with him. The police officials called Ola Iton to come to the station. We eventually went back, and in the process of going back, Ola Iton is a political thug. Ola Iton is a criminal. Every normal person doesn't want to have anything to do with Ola Iton. But in the process of going back from the police station to where they stopped our car and we left our driver, I start to ask Ola Iton questions. He ends up, Ola Iton is from my mom's hometown. This is a thug. The entire time we were trying to talk to him, he was smoking until we went to the police station. I ended up leaving Kogi with Ola Iton's number. I don't know when I'll need Ola Iton. I don't know what I'll need Ola Iton for. But learn to choose the place of love and just see beyond however it is people want you to feel. And to bring it back home, it is one thing to treat people with respect. It is another thing for you as a person to always choose value in everything you do. Always try to work with excellence. That's the only way you can network right. So, after I finished school, I did not want to work under anyone. I took a year off and I started to farm. During my NYSC, I learned a lot about farming. So, I started to do consultancy for people at fish farms and all of that. Then after a year, I knew I needed to get a job. HR person has spoken. Have you noticed how he has moved from even just checking your CVs to knowing the right person to talk to, knowing the right information? Talk to 1, 2, 3 persons. Oh, there's this opening here. It was not online. I got a job with Bovas here in Ibadan. Bovas has, like, everybody knows Bovas. It was a very good place to learn. But the point I want to make with networking, and always don't forget where you're coming from. Don't forget whoever it is you meet. 6 months into Bovas, it's a very tempting offer. You are in the oil and gas industry. Obviously, there's a lot of money to be made, and then the CEO of Trace reaches out to me, like he calls me. I was inside a meeting that day and I'm like, sorry, I'm in a meeting, can I call you back? And he's like, oh, my name is Sam. I got your number from Mr. I'm looking for an executive. I was like, what is going on here? But the point I'm trying to make is in 2018, 2019, when I was doing my NYSC, where I did my NYSC, I chose to be valuable. When you look back at people that really network and stay consistent, giving examples of Joseph, giving examples of Daniel walked across 3 governments in the Bible, 3 generations of leaders. It is your ability to always know who you are and choose to be valuable. I did not tell my previous boss I was looking for a job. He just had a conversation with his friend and they recommend me. So leaving Bovas and going to Trace, they asked for my CV after we finished the interview. But what did my boss see? How did I treat my boss when I was still serving? These are little things I would want us to pay attention to. Learn to treat people with respect. Learn to treat people with honor. Like, don't bring your problem into any environment you find yourself. Rather, be a source of joy. Like, be that light. Be yourself. Understand that as I'm talking now, what I'm thinking of is how can I network with this person or that person. understand that this guy is in designs, he's thinking light, he's thinking colors. How can you guys collaborate? Like in 2018, I had my first event alone. Usually I look to partner with people, but I figured it was best to also try to do something alone. And I remember going for an event, and trust me, I had zero naira. I had my business plan written down, executive summary, looking for sponsors. It was an arts and culture exhibition. That's what I really love to promote. Indigenous art. So I go for an event and someone says you can plan an event as long as you understand the importance of the people around you. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I don't know how. Someone decides right there. The graphic designer volunteers right there and is like, I'm going to take care of all your designs. That's a step in the right direction. I go into UI and I find the space I want to use. It was going to cost, I think, I can't remember the exact value, but it must have been close to $500,000 just to rent the venue. No setup, no lights, no stage, nothing. I keep moving, and that's what he said. No matter how tough it gets, keep moving. During one of my meetings with my graphic designer when we're trying to ideate and create concepts, no venue yet, we didn't know what we were going to do yet, but keep going. He comes with a friend and the friend says, oh, I'm with the Institute of African Studies. We are thinking of having our end of the year ceremony. Why don't you just come and do your event and then we partner with you? Long story short, I get a venue for free. I get generator for free. They give me an access to their museum for free. I end up doing the event and then I'm like 69% profitable for an event I did not spend on. But what am I trying to say? When it comes to people, understand that we are a very global village. If I'm trying to get to someone in India right now, I'm very certain I would know someone inside this place that knows someone that knows someone. I won't look past 5 someones before getting what I want in India today. So it is important for us to read whatever room we are in and learn to choose value, learn to go beyond just hello, hi. How many people are shy here? Like you love to say like, I'm shy. I don't like to talk to people. Let's be real now. Like we all are shy, but realize that humans are the only thing we have. Like if we are going to move, I would never have imagined that I'll move back to Lagos as early as I moved. So the question I just want to leave us with, because we've come here to gist, I'm going to ask questions now. In everything and in everywhere we find ourselves, let's make it a point of duty to always live with one friend. And don't be the friend that wants to receive. The man I met at Alliance Francaise, we've not had anything to do together, but I can be rest assured when I need to do something, I know who to reach for that. Last night when we were looking for a cab that could transport all the load we wanted to take to ABC this morning, I just got to UI gate. Baba, long time. I beg, I dey look for. Don't see people as people. See people as people that have value. I've not seen this cabman in ages. It connects me with who we really need, because we needed a particular type of car that could take so much load. We met with the man. I beg, now one boy send us. He say, in little or no time, you discover you get so much done. Where I did my NYSC, it was one of the few places in Lagos where they decide what is happening in Nigeria over a bottle of drinks, over food. So understand that there is more to the things we see. There are so many. So let me just go straight into asking us questions so I want us to, because there's no time, I think 20 minutes. How many minutes do I have left? Okay, so when I was thinking of what to speak on today, I've been thinking since Ebo invited me. Then I saw this on Instagram and I want to just read out. So a friend of mine, I want us to imagine before I read out. I think the average age here is between 18 to 40, right? So I just want each and every one of us to imagine our 50th birthday. So can we for a moment imagine our 50th birthday? Sister Orange, please, what do you think your 50th birthday will be like? Yes, you. Okay, who is done thinking about it? Turtleneck Blue. Sorry, I don't know your name. What's your name? Olisa Kedu. So what do you think your 50th birthday will be like? Okay. Okay. Okay, lovely. Olisa says he's going to be outside the country with his children, family man, blowing candles and just having a really good time. Who wants to try? Deji. You what? Okay. 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 Doing something fun for your 50th. Alright then. Who wants the educationist? Okay. 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 Alright then. Who else wants to go? Who else okay, thank you. Turtleneck Brown. Your fellow business groups. Okay. Your what? Okay. Okay. Alright then. But I want us to now take this twist. How sweet would it be that when we are celebrating Olisa's 50th birthday, we have like 10 of us from this conference still there? Like, Olisa is doing his 50th birthday, possibly where do you want to go? Canada? You don't know yet. Anywhere is not a country. So let's say, for instance, Canada, and imagine 10 of us inside the same room are in Canada with Olisa. How memorable would it be for Olisa to think back to 2021 and then we are thinking that's like maybe 2049 thereabouts, and Olisa is able to say these are the people I started with. These are some of my friends growing in faith. Like, how do you think he would feel? Would it be easy to keep friends? Because Yoruba people say, but really, how do you think it's possible for Lisa to still keep 5 friends here? Right? It's possible, right? And that is what, for me, networking is about. So I'm going to read this out just as a charge to us. Credits to Pastor Koju. So this is not something I wrote. A friend of mine asked me a question during my 50th birthday party. She said, every facet of your life is represented here. So friends from his secondary school, university, department, business, every facet. That was why I asked if we had people from every facet here. And it seems there is everything we need inside this place. And those you knew in kindergarten, so you had some of his kindergarten friends come around, primary school, secondary school, university, when you were in the world, because Pastor Koju was like a really happening guy, and then your Christian friends. How did you manage to still keep all of them? And it goes back to the tenets of my reply is I honor everyone who has contributed in any little way into my life, and that's what I want to leave us with. Realize that the fact that he's a organizer, the fact that she's a cleaner, doesn't mean they do not have value to render. And realize that you are on top and you are like, you are the CEO, you are the CMD. Other people will come into that position. But what are you doing with what you have? How are you choosing to be humble? So he continues, just a second please. He continues and he says, I never forget the people who helped me along the way. and I do not place expectations on others as a condition for friendship. You are free to be yourself. So in ending this, it is that don't go with the intentions that you want to network with people here for what you will get. I didn't go to NYSC. I wasn't Mr. Dozier's friend. That was my manager. I wasn't his friend because I was looking for a job. Temi, get this done. Get it done. Temi, do this. I'm Mr. Dozier a long time. I just said I should check on you. Like, it wasn't anything because I wanted something. So don't make the mistake that networking involves what you want to receive. For you, it should be, how can you give? And like they always say, there's this analogy I learned recently. You have this, right? In the process of giving, how big has my palm grown? It was like this. Now it is bigger because I have something to give. But in giving, you've opened yourself to receiving so much more. So that's what I want to leave us with, that as we try to achieve in today's Nigeria, it might seem hard. Like, let's bring it back home and just give testimonies too. In rounding up, I moved to Lagos 2 weeks ago, and in the past 2 months, I can now count how many of my friends have gotten jobs without applying. Like, it is strange to each and every one of us. Dami was a consultant. After NYSC, they were not paying her where she was, but she knew she had so much value. Till today, she doesn't know how they submitted her CV to the 13th floor Civic Towers. She's now a consultant and HR person. A double role, double payment. But it comes from who are the people you are choosing to honor. People, trust me, everybody is watching. Who else do I want? I could go on and on and on and on, and it just shows that in this life, people really matter. The classic example, like Precious, that was our host, right? Would give his case of David Adeleke, Davido, as we all call him. It just shows you what is happened. He has given so much that when he had to ask, it wasn't hard. And that's just life for you. Once you move with the intention that you want to create genuine, intentional friendships. It will not come easy. There will be fights, but learn the place of balance. Learn the place of balance. That's the only reason you see what David kept on doing because of Jonathan. He kept on looking for anybody within the house of Saul that he could honor. So in networking, in trying to be friends with people, I just want to charge us moving forward to do things with that bit of excellence and always choose love, always choose to give. I hope I've been able to say a couple of things. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
If you are celebrating Mr. Temiloluwa, you can do better. Hallelujah. All right, moving in the speed of light without wasting much of our time. We're proceeding to the next thing, but I can tell you that we'll be back to catch as much fun as we can. The next thing on the list is mental health. And to take us on that session, can we have the profile media?
Chuka KV Onoye is a social entrepreneur, a mental health professional with a master's degree in child and adolescent mental health. He is dedicated to community service, where he promotes the mental well-being of children and youth through social and mental health services and advocacy movements. He is the CEO of Mind Alert, a mental health service delivery organization, and the Director of Recruitment at Asido Foundation, a mental health advocacy NGO. He is also well established and skilled in the field of communications and holds the position of a communications and research uptake manager in 2 international mental health projects, Succeed and Transform, and also serves as a content creator and media assistant at the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan.
With Jesus' joy in our hearts, connect. Join me as I make welcome Mr. Chuka Onoye for the next session. Hallelujah. Please celebrate Jesus. Celebrate Jesus. All that is. We give you all the glory. We worship you, our God. You are worthy to be praised. Brethren in Christ, we have been listening to today's Nigeria, and whatever it is, whether it's negative, whether it's positive, there is one thing I'm sure of, and that is that you and I are alive today, and we are healthy, and we are God's children. So join me in singing this song. We give you all the glory. We worship you, our Lord. You are worthy to be praised. Brethren in Christ, I'm so happy to be in the midst of what St. Paul called the gathering of the brethren. I mean, it's a stage where, we encourage each other, we teach each other, and we learn from each other. And I also like to thank the last speaker for sharing his experiences, and they were really great. And he has really taught me one or two things. So, I don't know if the IT group can upload my slides. Without wasting much of our time, I'll quickly go into my topic. Can they upload my slides on the screen, please? Okay, so let me quickly go to my topic today, which I've tagged mental health of youth in today's Nigeria. I wish my slides could come up, because what I have here is the NSAS protest picture. Can they pull it up? It's up. Okay. Thank you. So, that's mental health of youth in today's Nigeria. As you can see, the picture there is the NSAS movement. And, this tells a lot. This picture tells a lot of stories, I was part of the movement, and it got to, I realized that the Nigerian youth, we are not sleeping. We are awake, and we are looking at the government. We are watching them. And somehow, I don't know what's raised us up to stand up for our rights and demand accountability in a way I've never thought could happen in this country. So this picture serves as my front cover for today's topic. So when you talk about today's Nigeria, next slide, what is the current state of Nigeria as it concerns young people? Just briefly, one person should give me two positives and two negatives as the current state of Nigeria as it concerns young people. Anybody? Just one negative. Anybody? As you can see, I've put the Twitter ban. I'm using current things that are happening so that it can be relatable. And at some point, you see how this, correlates with the mental health of young people. The relationship between some of these things, that is the current situation of Nigeria, and the mental health of young people. So, for the negatives, you can see the Twitter ban. I mean, some of us might think, Twitter ban, what is it? They just banned Twitter. I can tell you that some people are really affected by this Twitter ban in one way or the other. If not for anything, our human rights, our freedom of expression has been violated by the government. And some of the positives, I thought some people would be able to give me some, but some of the positives are that there are some startups coming up in this country, some real good startups. And people are striving to, to become CEOs. I can tell you that in this room, I can count like maybe half of us could be CEOs of something. Maybe not on a larger scale, but there are so many CEOs here. There are so many people trying to start up businesses. Irrespective of whatever the country is, people are still striving to make it. And also I've put they call it the entertainment industry, which is really a platform where youth has really prospered and thrived. Next slide. So, throughout my talk, I'll be looking at the life of young people through these spheres: education, jobs, health, livelihood, and spirituality, because this is a Christian community, so it's also good to talk about spirituality. So you will agree with me that, when you talk about young people, you cannot exclude these things. Education. Every young person, whether you like it or not, as a young person, there is this inside you that want to learn, that want to gain skills, that want to know your environment. So whether it's formal or informal, part of the life of a young person or a youth is to learn and to acquire knowledge. Next slide. So, but what is mental health? When we talk about mental health, the perception of people about mental health varies from pathology, that is illness, When you talk about, maybe you say mental, people are already thinking of so many things. But as for me, mental health is actually life. I know that Jesus is life, but mental health is life. Because everything that we want to achieve in life starts from the mind. Without the mind, it's highly impossible for you to achieve anything. Because it's from the mind that you get the inspiration. Even Lord speaks to us through the mind. It's from the mind that you get the inspiration. Even when you want to acquire skills, it's still the brain that stores the information. And everything you want to do, it starts from the mind. And then the mind sends these messages to the body. And then the body begins to work. But the World Health Organization have given us some hint about what mental health is. They said it's a state of well-being. So it's not about illness, it's not about depression, it's not about, yes, all those things are part of it. But mental health is a state of well-being. Sound mind, where an individual realizes his or her abilities. So part of being in a good mental state is the ability for you to realize your potentials. Everybody here has one gift or the other. Everybody here has a calling that God has placed on you to go to the earth and replenish and procreate and do great things. So mental health is the ability for you to realize those goals, cope with the normal stresses of life. There is no life that is without stress. So, but in mental health, we keep it to the normal stresses of life. There are some abnormal stresses that we might not be able to cope with. But if you can cope with the normal stresses of life, waking up early in the morning to go to work, staying for a long time at work and coming back, going to school, doing all those things you do in school just to get good grades and all that. So, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make contribution to his or her community. So the last one is also very great, because after gaining all these things, you still have a community where you will want to, help, contribute to, and grow. So still on the last one, you see that there is a problem in this country, because when you look at other countries and how they are, you see that people are really contributing to the well-being of their society. You see the roads are tarred, potable water, and all that. They are not angels from heaven. They are human beings who have done great things and they have contributed to their community. And now we here in Nigeria, We pay all sorts of money to travel abroad and enjoy those things. So why is it that we have not been able to harness our talent, to harness our knowledge, and make our country great? That is mental health for you. So I'll be fast. Next slide. So I will take us through some of these spheres I talked about. So for education, like I said earlier, every young person wants to learn new things. You want to have knowledge. You want to belong. You know, you want to have this degree or the other so that you can be placed in the society. So we must have heard a lot of things about the state of Nigeria. So I will rush through this. So we did this research in University of Abuja, where we are trying to ask students what is their state of mental health, what is the state of their mind in school. We use that study to evaluate the overall general state of well-being in Nigerian universities. And some of their responses are that, you know, the overcrowded accommodation, that the place is not conducive, congested classrooms, you know, problems here and there, frequent strikes, hostile lecturers, insecurity, and so on and so forth. And all this has a way of contributing to our mental health. I will not go into the rest. But we know that Nigerian students abroad has increased by 164% over the decade. So because our education system is not good, to some extent, people are trying to move abroad to get better education. Next slide. So like I've talked about their responses, they said that nothing makes us happy in school, and this reduces academic performances and also contributes to even physical illness. So when situation is not good, when the mental state of people in the school is not favorable, you know, people fall sick and you just say, okay, it's malaria. But when you go deeper, you see that people are having depression, people are having anxiety, people are having too much stress to cope with. So statistics shows that in our tertiary institution, we have over 57% of students with anxiety disorders. We have about 35% of students living with depression, and 65% suffer in the academics due to depression. We have 16.2% that uses drugs, and almost 43.9%, almost half of the students have used drug in one way or the other that does not, you know, benefit their health. So this is the state of our education, and you have seen how this contributes to our mental health. You might be seeing these statistics, but they're actually human beings. They're actually students. And you can imagine a bright student, a student that is bright, coming with high grades, a distinction in WAEC, you know, cleared his JAMB, and then when he goes into the university, the situation is not favorable. You know, the teachers are abusing people all over the place. And then the student slumps into depression, and then his academics begin to fall. So it's a real sorry state. Next slide. Yes, so we cannot, I mean, since I've been here, people have been talking about jobs. So we cannot, you know, employment from experience. Employment is one of the most important things in the life of a young person. Everybody will agree with me on this. If you are not employed, if you are not gainfully employed, if you are not busy, if you are not exploring your skill, your talent, let me tell you, you're almost on the edge of a mental health problem. You're almost on the edge of depression. So, gainful employment is important for young people, because that is where and when we begin to feel, you know, begin to feel ourselves, we begin to detach from our parents somehow, begin to feel independent, because that's what the young of a life person is. To be able to move away from dependency to independence. You know, you'll be able to cater for yourself, you know, maybe you move out from your parents' house, have your own apartment, and even contribute to the society. And when you are not gainfully employed, when you don't have job, when you don't have something you are doing, is really terrible. It can be frustrating. So this guy said that, I mean, I can't read that fast. So he said that the crowning fortune of a man is to be born to some pursuit which finds him employment and happiness. whether it be to make baskets or canals or statues or songs. So, and the former president of US, Donald Trump, when one of his campaign songs were jobs, Mr. Donald Trump, how do you want your economy to improve? Jobs, jobs, jobs. So the, the role of employment cannot be overemphasized. So next slide. So let's look at what is happening with the employment sector. Youth unemployment rate is about 53.40%. This is reality. I mean, when I came in, I heard someone saying there is jobs all over the place. I agree in Jesus' name that God is able to give us jobs, whether we don't have jobs or not. God is able to make a way where there is no way. But the reality is that our youth don't have jobs. There are no jobs in this country. And people that have jobs are not in their dream jobs. You know, okay, let's manage. You know, somebody calls you, okay, do you want to be a cashier here? Okay, let me just manage. I heard one of the speakers saying that somebody that graduated in medicine is doing something else, you know. We are not doing what we graduated with. And I mean, that shows the state of the country. And what does this imply to our mental well-being? Compromised self-esteem. So your self-esteem is low. When people are coming out, I mean, with social media, we see a lot of things. When somebody, you know, does something great, he puts it up and everybody sees it. So when somebody gets promotion, you put it up. When somebody is in this, he puts it up. So you that is not employed, you are looking at all these things, and maybe they invite you for an occasion and you don't really want to go there because you don't really have something you are doing, or you cannot match. You feel your self-esteem is low. Another thing is anxiety, self-doubt, sense of helplessness, brain drain. I mean, brain drain is one of the things that is affecting our country, because people graduate with all sorts of degrees and they don't go in to practice those things. So what they have learned over the 4 years or 5 years, whatever year, you know, goes off and they don't remember. So you see people trying to, you know, go into masters, and after masters, what else? You say PhD after, and what else? If you don't get that job that grounds you to be able to utilize what you have learned in school, you know, you cannot really cope. And then substance use, increase in alcohol consumption. You know, it's not strange that if you have a country with an unemployment rate of 53.40%, that we cannot be discussing substance abuse. We all know that substance abuse is really high in the country. And when you look at the situation, you can really say that, yeah, it correlates with the unemployment rate. And it's also associated with higher mortality rates due to suicide. We talk about suicide in the other slides. So, next slide is livelihood. I'll be fast. Yes, so I've just picked a few things that have happened recently. So as a young person, you know, you want the government, you want a community that supports your existence. As a young person, you are trying to make ends meet, you are hustling, you know, the energy is too high, the energy is too much. And some of us will take 3 jobs. You know, we have that strength to do 3 things at a time. You are DJ, maybe you're an accountant in the morning, in the afternoon you are an Uber driver, in the night you are a DJ. You know, we have the strength to do that. Our parents might not be able to go, but young people have the strength to do that sort of thing. And you want, as a young person, when you are, maybe you are going, you walk through the night and then you are returning back, you want an adequate security. You know, you want your security, the security system of the country to protect you as a young person. You know, we have gadgets, we have, you know, young people explore new things. We explore new gadgets. That's why we have flashy phones, flashy laptops. You know, we can't be like our parents that, okay, that old Dell is enough for me. Let me just type my Microsoft Word and that's all. You know, young people explore. They move with the times. So you expect when you acquire some of these things, your security is assured. But in Nigeria, we hear about police brutality, even in the social media where we put up our, you know, products for people to see. We still have some of our social media outlets being banned. In Acido Foundation, where I'm the director of recruitment, we did a study on NSAS. after the NSAS protest, we did a research. We were asking people about their mental health after the NSAS protest. And we discovered that so many people had elevated levels of depression and anxiety and post-traumatic stress problems after the NSAS protest. I can tell you that there was this nurse I worked with, because in Abuja, where we were doing the NSAS, I was with the medical team. So there was this nurse that I was with, and after the first day of the NSAS, I didn't see her again. I called her. I asked her what is the problem. He said that since she saw when the police were beating up people, that she could not come out again, that she has been having sleepless nights and dreams and all that. And since that time, she didn't join us again. So, but another striking thing is that these levels of depression and anxiety were not only seen among protesters, they were also seen among non-protesters. Why? Because even the non-protesters, they have, siblings that were protesting. They have, people, loved ones that were protesting. So their own mental health were also affected in one way or the other. So the social media ban and all that. Some people lost their jobs online, and of course our networking has been limited. So I'll rush through these slides. Next one. Okay, so the one thing I will pick from here, I'm moving to health now, specifically mental health. One thing I'll pick from here is that Nigeria is still operating, there is no legislation on mental health in Nigeria, no current modern legislation of it. That is laws that guide the mental health practice in Nigeria. So you cannot believe with me that Nigeria still uses what they call the Lunacy Act of 1958 that was designed by the British colonies. That is what governs the treatment of mental health up to today. So what does that mean? That means that all the outdated rudiments of mental health care are still being used today. So for example, in that policy or in that law, there's a place that says that, people committing suicide is a criminal offense. So if police catches you today on top of a roof trying to commit suicide, you're actually a criminal. So you'll be arrested, not really cared for, you'll be arrested and put into custody. But by the special grace of God, this mental health is being reviewed by the Senate. I think it has passed first and second reading, and we are just waiting for it to be passed into law so that, we begin to have real mental health structures. And also, when you talk about mental health of young people, what are the perceptions of the public? Stigma is still high. When you come out and say, I have depression, I have schizophrenia, people already naming you all sorts of things. Evil spirits, demons, and so forth and so. Next slide. So mental disorders are the leading cause of disability in young people globally. So young people, when you talk of mental health problems, it's really high in young people. And from what I've said earlier, you could relate with it. Why? Because young people at that stage, a lot is happening. You are discovering yourself, identity. You are trying to do a lot of things. You are trying to be independent. You are battling through a lot of things. You are trying to understand yourself. Who am I? So that is why in the course of all this, a lot of things pop up. So, and these conditions often persist for a long time, disrupting, people's access to livelihood and education and so forth. 1 in 6 Nigerian youth develop mental health conditions over the COVID restrictions. Yes, that's true. So in 2019 and 20, we could all relate to that, being locked up in the house for so long without doing anything. So some of the statistics for youth mental health is that substance abuse in young people is about 23 to 40%. Anxiety disorders are still high. And suicide is the third leading cause of death among young people. In fact, there is this, I think it's one of the statistics that say that how many seconds now? I don't want to give a wrong, but suicide is happening at an alarming rate in our country and in the world. Seriously, it's happening at an alarming rate. I think it's I think it's every 2 minutes or thereabouts. Somebody in the world has committed suicide. I think so. But I'll get back to that. I think our slides have gone off. So I will just move quickly to religion and spirituality. Yes. So one good thing is that we have a large Christian body in Nigeria. And it's a plus. Yes, all over the place. We have so many denominations, Catholic, Anglican, Pentecostals. And youth are usually the bedrock of most churches. Yes. Any church you go to and you don't see youth, there is a problem. The problem is that the older ones don't want their children to attend those churches, that church. So you better run away. Any church you come in and you don't see young people, also. So some studies show that hiring youth pastor or worker is an effective way to develop and maintain quality programs in the church. So young people are able to relate with young pastors, young workers. I remember when I was being invited, is Ebunoluwa that invited me. So she told me, Mr. Chuka, we are tired of old people coming to tell us, so we want young people this time around. And we cannot agree that churches are platforms for inclusion and nurturing talents. So our government has actually failed us, and I can tell you that our churches are really doing great. Like us gathering here and meeting people and talking about things. I mean, it's something that our government might not be able to give up, but the churches are providing it. So some studies show that there is clear connection of religion and health. With religious people, psychologically and socially healthier. Yes, religious people have better mental health outcomes in most of the researches that have been conducted. Because when you look at religious people, they talk about, hope. They talk about in God, all things are possible. They have higher, coping strategies. Their self-esteem is higher. You can come here and meet people and all that. And there is support system of like-minded people. So we are all Christians. We believe in God. So there is this social support we also gain in church. And also, hope and faith are similar to placebo effects. Next slide. But also, you cannot talk about the positives without talking about some of the negatives in spirituality. So we find out that even in mental health, religious groups still abuse human rights, and still do a lot of, we call them extremes in religion. For example, indoctrination. So a perfect example of indoctrination is what is happening in the north. The Boko Harams, the child suicide bombers, and all that. So people are indoctrinated. They are forced to believe in something without actually thinking about it. It's actually rights abuse. Then spiritual abuse. We see some people that say that churches, flog people all in the name of removing demons, chain people, and all that. So all those things are also not good for our mental well-being. You see people coming out in churches and saying, Pastor, Reverend Father, I killed 5 people last year, and today I have gone to God. So, I mean, it's okay, but what's the other say for a larger society that criminals are being harbored in the church? I mean, it's normal that when somebody commits a crime of that nature, the law is supposed to take charge of the person. But when he comes to the church and he says, Pastor, I've killed, forgive me, and then it's okay, everything is all right. So this is also human rights. Because if you think of it, the person that has died, or the person that has been killed by that person is also somebody's sibling. It's also somebody's mother or father. So where is the justice that is being served? Those are the things. So prevalence of abuse, a research shows that in Christian Reformed Church, the prevalence of abuse, let me quickly go back. Yes, 12% prevalence of physical abuse. I think you have jumped that slide. Yeah. Sexual abuse, 13%. I'm a Catholic, but I can tell you that if you have followed the news over the past 5 years, you could have seen that we have reports of Catholic bishops, sexually harassing children. So sexual abuse happens also in the church. So, amidst all this, I've tried to, show us the situation and how it correlates with our mental health. The final aspect is, how do we now, as a people, as young people, how do we cope? How do we survive amidst all this situation? And I've just picked out 4 things. Self-care, some of them are intertwined. Self-care, coping skills, resiliency, and prayers. I'm putting prayers because we are all Christians. So let's quickly rush to self-care. Self-care is the most primary, elementary part of mental health care. We don't preach for people to go to psychiatric homes. We don't want people to go to hospitals. We don't want people to go to counselors. I mean, you can go to all those things, but we want people at the very primary level to be able to take care of themselves. Self-care is not just brushing your teeth and waking up. Self-care entails taking time to do things that will help you live well and improve both your physical and mental health. Doing things that will help you manage stress, lower the risk of illness, and increase your energy. So some of us don't know how to take care of ourselves. I mean, you see people walking their socks off, but they don't find time, to go out, to do things that will, heal them or that will refresh them. So mental health is all about self-care. Exercise, eat healthy, sleep. Let me tell you people something about sleep. In most of the mental health disorders we have seen, there is one risk factor we have noticed amongst all of them, and that is lack of proper sleep. Immediately, if you don't take anything today, take this. Sleep well. It helps you a lot. During sleep, that is when the body recovers. Not just physically, but mentally. God has created the body to have an automatic refreshing system, an automatic recovery system. The way your computer blows and your computer tells you, okay, you can do system recovery. God has created us. So immediately you start breaking up your sleeps, your recovery will not be complete, and that leaves gaps and holes for mental health issues. So sleep is very important. Relax, set goals, focus on positivity. Some people don't focus on positivity. Some people always focus on the negative aspects of life. When you show them, when there is a situation, they call them pessimists. They just go into the negative aspect of that thing. Okay. They just move into the negative aspect. Okay, thank you. So let's move quickly. I think my time is almost up. So let me just move. So how do we cope? After self-care, how do we cope with some of these adversities? One of the ways to cope is to talk to someone when you have issues. I mean, some of us say, I don't want to share my problem. You must find someone in your life that you'll be able to share your problems with. This is very, very important. In mental health practice, we have seen that, when depression, when mental health issues come, it's actually because people have this fixed mindset on a particular, their mindset is not seeing it in a broad view. They are focused on one particular thing that might actually be negative or not true. But when you share your problem with somebody, a close friend or somebody you trust, the person will be able to help you see the wider horizon. The person will widen your horizon, and then you'll be able to, look at things more clearer. So sharing your problem with somebody is very important. Establish healthy boundaries. Meditate. There are 2 types of coping. Problem-based coping, which is changing the situation, attacking the problem. And then emotion-based coping, which is taking care of your feelings, especially when the situation is out of your control. Maybe somebody dies and you know that you cannot bring that person to death. So, the way for you to cope is to take care of your emotions. But if it's something, for example, you're in an abusive relationship and you can no longer take it, one of the ways you can cope, which I have mentioned, problem solving, is to actually move out from that relationship, or even, talk about it and challenge the problems. I will just jump to the last thing, which is okay. I've written here, come to me, all who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. And as a Christian and as a child of God, I can tell us that, WHO says that there is no health without mental health. But as a child of God and as a mental health expert, I can tell you that as children of God, there is no mental health without Jesus Christ. Praise the Lord. And thank you for listening.
Hallelujah. Please celebrate Mr. Chuka one more time. Hallelujah. Please clap now. Hallelujah. All right, very quickly, without wasting much of our time, I understand that we have heard a lot of things. How to achieve in today's Nigeria. I know you all know now. Yes or no? All right, but then I want us to relax very quickly, and I will just play a very quick game. The fun of the game depends solely on us. So whatever energy you put into the game will determine the outcome. Are you with me? Are you with me now? I've not given you something to drink. Are you with me? Are you with me? Uncle, are you with me? Are we communicating? Thank you. What's the name? Ayodiji, pleased to meet you. My name is Demola. I talk for a living. Sorry, what's the name? Promise. Pleased to meet you. I know you are scared. What's the name? Ma, I see the smile. With the way you are smiling, your name should be Oluwapamilerin Ayo. I like the way you smile. I just want to ask you one question. How are you today? Thank you. All right. So I need about 10 people to play this game, and the rest of us will be the judge. Are we ready? Are we ready? Who said no? Go out. The game is not for you. Thank you. So I need about 10 persons. If you are so sure of yourself, please come out. Don't worry. I will tell you, sir. I will tell you, sir. I like your energy. What's the name, sir? Please celebrate Mr. Tayo. Celebrate Mr. Tayo now. Welcome, sir. Nice to have you here. Mr. Tayo, I like your voice, sir. Yeah, what? I know. I'm not coughed too. And I'm not bent. Thank you, sir. All right, please. We need 9 more people. Please come out if you are so sure. Don't worry, what you want to do is not something. Even they just said you should connect. They just told you guys about connectivity with people. Or would you want me to pick randomly? I think that would be better. Please come out, Mr. What now? The Lord knows you. I will bless you. What's the name, please? Your DJ, please go there. No. Please come out. Your name? Your name, please. Precious, please come out. Please come forward. Your name, sir? Your name, sir. Thank you, bro. Ayomeku. Ola Dimeji, please come forward. Your name, ma'am. Your name. Thank you. Please come forward. Auntie Adedamola. Eshe, mommy. Okay, mommy Adedamola. That was just on a light hand. Please step forward. Thank you. Thank you. My sister over there, what's the name? Gift. Please step forward. Step forward very quickly. How many do we have outside now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Your name, sir? Yes, you. Eshokwe, your name, sir. Yes. Yes, your name, sir. Eshe, Joshua wa pẹ̀lú yín. Ọ̀run kó gbé yín lọ́wọ́ sókè. Please come forward. I'm trying to see what we can do. Please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's just get one more person. Please come forward. Your name? Yes, you. Anne, come forward. Thank you. And what? An envelope or an egg or an apple? Which of them? And Mary. Please step forward. We have how many outside now? 8. We should be able to get 2 more now. 2. Please step forward, sir. What's the name? Please step forward, sir. And one more lady. Please step forward, ma'am. Yes, you. All right, please, can I get 2 sheets of paper, please? What you want to do is so simple. What you want to do is so simple. So you will just speak numbers very quickly. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. From you. Zero, 20, 2. Please, number 2 to this side, number 1 to this side. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Number 1 to this side, number 2 to this side. Can I get sheets of paper, please? Just 2, yes, please. 2 sheets of paper or 2 sheets of papers. Anyone? Please, 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 who's helping me? And can I get 1 biro too? Bros! No wonder. See as your voice change. Your guys change. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's your English name? You should be Solomon. You should be Solomon. Only you. Jesus is a Christian. Blood of Zachariah. No? We need to switch. No. Yeah, but 2 able-bodied men cannot be in the same group. Come, sir. Before you are standing close to the pole. Yoruba have a name for people like you. That stand like this. They say, Oboyeka be what now? Be what? Be after little man support. Thank God you don't bed wait. To the side. So that makes it. See the way you dey frown. You don't want to share, be your brother's keeper. Okay, that makes it 2 now. At least it's easy on you now. Thank you. Over to you. Thank you. Please, can I get a biro, please? Just 1 biro. My God will bless you. You will not fall. Take. Oh, I can't find mine, no. Biro, please. Thank you. Okay, so what you want to do is so simple. This game is called the chariot game. Chariot game. The 5 of you will put your heads together. You will write 5 things or 5 words. The 5 of you two will write 5 action words. 1 person from each group, like steal, rob, mime, destroy. You like bad things, sir. All right. So you write 5 things. They will write 5 things. We will now exchange. 1 person will come forward. You will now mime that thing. Once you get it, you get a score. And at the end, you get a gift. The group with the highest mark gets the gift. Do we understand like that? For example, maybe here you write sing. And maybe here you write dance. You will switch. This one for sing will now come forward. 1 person will now do something like this. You must not talk. Oh. Once you talk, you're automatically disqualified. 1 person will come forward. You do like this. Once this group gets it, good luck for them. You too, you will come forward from here. I'll be from here rather. You will now come out. You too will do like this. Once your group members, once they get it, good luck. Do we understand now? So please put your heads together. At least they say 2 heads is better than what now? 1. But now 5 heads should be better than 1. All right, please deliberate. You have just 5 minutes to come up with 5 words. No, you can. No, sit together. Bro Solomon. Well done, sir. Very quickly, very quickly, very quickly, very quickly. 5 words, 5 words, 5 words, 5 words. Very quickly. Thank you. Okay, so while the keyboard person and the person on the drum is on that, please, can I get something like You know, as an MC, I was opportune to anchor a wedding reception. You just forget what the drummer is playing. Just, thank you. You see, 5 minutes, you never see anything beat. Imagine. Okay, so I was opportune to anchor a wedding reception, and you know, just like all these band people do, this man came forward, and then he said something like this. He collected the list of the well-to-do people there. First person, Ever making Minister Wale. Minister Wale came forward. He brought out 50-50 naira. He sprayed the band leader. The man looked at Minister Wale. He was like, next person on the list. He saw Pastor Oyadeyi. He said, ever make a Pastor Oyadeyi me, oh, Pastor Oyadeyi me. Pastor came forward. Pastor sprayed the man 20 naira. He checked the last person on the list, or the third person. He saw TJ. He said, ever make it TJ. Èèyàn ti Pastor Isaac. Pastor Isaac, Temio. Whoops. With the hope that we all the hype, TJ will come forward and spray better money. TJ came forward and he sprayed for 5 naira. The man was disappointed, and then he checked the list. Then he saw Heritage. And then he was like, Heritage, oh. As Heritage was coming, he just saw 1,000. He was like, Heritage. 5 minutes, Heritage. I don't know what you are doing for his side also. But if you continue with beating the drums, let me not say more than that. As he saw 1,000 naira note, music flew off from his head. And the next thing I heard was, Heritage, you are the most high. Heritage, you are the most high. Next person, are you ready? 5 heads have refused to come up with something. Are you ready here? Please say those things and wrap them up. Just say them out. Carefully say those words out and then wrap them up. Thank you. Please, once you're done with your 5 words, just wrap it up. Wrap it up. Kilo chele. Esunlo dictionary. Alright, so just say them out. Just say them out and wrap them. Alright. See as you dey beat drum, like say the drum dey follow you drag wife. Guinea. With this few beating of yours, you have been able to confuse and not to convince me that you drum. Go play. Oh yeah, play the rock. Very soon you go say rock no do. You go play mountain or valley. Okay, are you ready? Please, are you ready over there? Wow, now King Solomon Day. Can I have them? Please wrap it up. Wrap it very. Why are you rapping as if you are rapping moi? Thank you. Please come forward. Can I have it? Class captain. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please, what's the English of Ibiawila Day? Where we what? Where we say we what you say you will do, that is what you will do. What's the English of Ibiawila Day? Where we wear is where. Where we wear is where we. This is yours, right? All right. Thank you. Okay. Please, let there be what now? Silence. Pick. Please, bros, you must not talk. You will only what now? Act what is here. Thank you. Please watch them. If you should talk, let me know. Okay? Oh yeah. Please don't forget. Who will help me with the time, please? Bros, why? Bro Solomon. Bro Solomon. You said don't accept the name. Forget it. The name is yes and amen. I don't know what that base is displaying, but I can tell you that like your name not the first batch of we where they go heaven. Alright, so pick. Please don't look and don't talk. Thank you. Just act. Please, you have 20 seconds. Who will help me with the time, please? 20 seconds. Who will help me with the stopwatch? Who will help me now? Media, will you help me? 20 seconds. Please help me with the stopwatch. Once I say start, you start. Are you ready? Please, hold on. Speak out loud so that they will hear you. They wrote it, so they must know if you are right or wrong. Act it. Don't worry, don't worry. Don't talk it. We are done with very close. Very close, call. Very strict. Don't give hints. You know, gutter water. It's not meant to talk. Please, should we accept that? Should we accept that? Should we accept that? The voice of the people is the voice of... Thank you. Group 1, don't wear anything. You what? Winners chapel. Don't worry. Please, don't talk. You would have gotten the mark now. That's how you would do. And in Jamaica, we say don't talk. You will get to heaven, you talk. They will just say to this way. But I'm not saying anything. I just said you say to this way. Hello, assistant class rep. I have size. The Bible said something. It said, do my what now? Do my prophet know what? And touch not my. You touch me, you collect it. That's all. Bros, pick again. Please don't talk. Don't think again. If you think. So, oh yeah, pick. I heard what that person said. You don't talk. And please, the media have decided not to help me. So you have just 3 tries. Just 3 tries. Is that right? Please, are you scoring them? Group 1. 1. Group 2. Pick. You have just 3 tries. Don't talk. Whatever you say can be used against you in the court of law. Your 3 tries are complete. Say it out. Your 3 tries are complete. Okay, it's 2. Oh yeah, another one. What's there? Plowing. You guys are wicked. You are the one that wrote it. Don't lie, but you brought the idea. I know you are wicked. Group 1. Pick. No, someone else should come forward. It's not only you. Please come forward. Oh yeah, please don't forget, just 3 tries. Yes, you can't change it. people are wicked. They are wicked for a living. Oh yeah. Try your best. You want to give up? Will you? Don't ask me. All right. So, act it. Over! You know, short put in it. What's there?
Dancing.
Eh?
Dancing.
Man, you speak up.
Dancing.
That thing. Group 1. 1. Did you score it the other time? 0. So who is leading? Group 1. It's still 1-0. Pick. All right. Over to you. Let's go. Hurry up. Will you give up? Oh yeah. Come again. You know, when they tell you everything is not about come and take me out, come and take me out. You will not know. Say now. It have catch you outside. Oh yeah. Oton. Are you doing tinko? Whoa. That's what they wrote. Rotting meaning. Oh yeah. Will you give up later? You are not giving up. You want to call a friend from your group? But they said you cannot call a friend. They already what? They already did it. They saw like 3. Why are you not looking at me sympathetically? Oh yeah. They say if you give up. Oh yeah, we are waiting now. Say you will give up. So. Mommy, in the next 30 seconds, if you cannot do anything. Mommy, oh yeah, do it. Nikini, give me my sheet of paper. Hold on. What's this one? Oh yeah, open it by yourself. Say what's written in the paper. It's what?
Pillow fight.
Sorry, is this pillow fight? Auntie! Sorry, Ibo legbe dagba. Auntie, Ibo legbe dagba. Ibo, where do you stay? Oh yeah, sorry, no, please speak. Please bring it down. Oh yeah. One, 2, 3. Over! Oh yeah! What's there?
Taking.
Eh?
Yes, taking.
Baking!